we now present to you Story of Love and Horror, directed by M. Night Shyamalan and narrated by Morgan Freeman, starring Robert Downey Jr. Just kidding with you. Romeo and Juliet by Clinton Robert Terry. And the story goes a little something like this. Mercutio, who is that? That is Juliet, that is. Oh my god, like another text message, will Paris ever leave me alone? And sometime later that same night. Ooh, give me more of thy sin. I gotta have more sin! Like, seriously? Okay. I got a fever, and the only prescription is more sin. What? Needless to say, he was obsessed with her, and her with him. Whoosh, dunk. Whoosh, dunk. What is it, Romeo? Gosh. Juliet, I want you to marry me. Sure, why not? I mean, yeah, okay. Woohoo! Now goeth away. They were married the next day at a secret wedding. Shh! But Tybalt, Juliet's cousin, insisted on fighting Romeo for no apparent reason, just another clash of the families. Romeo refuses. Mercutio stands up for Romeo and fights Tybalt. Have at thee, Montague! I shall not fight you, Tybalt. Then I shall slay you. What? Dunk. Dude, that was some sweet special effects. Right then, now we fight. Hiya! Hoo-yah! You disgrace my family, my own cousin, Juliet. It is you who is wrong. You mistreat my dear friend, Romeo. An entire epic battle later. Now you die. Says who? William Doggone Shakespeare. Oh. I had no idea his middle name was Doggone. Oh!
Fatality.
Yeah, kinda just killed a guy. What the devil?
Romeo!
Ah! I know. You are mad because I'm censoring the death. But I'll have you know not only because it is graphic, but it is also extremely hard to capture the seriousness of death in a comedic skit. Never mind. Let's kill him. This is Sparta! With Tybalt dead, the prince decided that Romeo was only avenging Mercutio's death, and therefore his punishment would be less harsh. Romeo was banished. Romeo hated his banishment. It took him away from his love, Juliet. He secretly went to Juliet so he could spend one last night with her. Although sadly, he had to leave with daybreak. and go to Mantua because of his banishment. Needless to say, he missed his Juliet, as she missed him. But Juliet was told she must be the wife of Count Paris in but 3 days. And so she fled to Friar Lawrence and told him she would kill herself if he had no better plan to stop her wedding. And he told her to go home and tell everyone the wedding was on, then drink from his vial of sleep potion. He said she would sleep for 48 hours, and her family would bury her in a tomb. Meanwhile, he could send a message to Romeo so that he could come home and get her when the potion wore off. Together, they could run back to Mantua and have a semi-normal life together. A perfect plan, right? Well, not so much. You see, not only was the friar's letter delayed, but Juliet had to sleep early because the wedding was rescheduled to the next day. Romeo, having not gotten the friar's message, received a message from his servant telling him of her death. He impulsively got some poison from the local apothecary and went to her tomb. But Paris was there putting flowers on his to-be wife's grave. Romeo tried to go into the tomb once Paris left, but Paris hid in the bushes and then jumped out and wouldn't leave Romeo to continue his task. He fought Paris. And poor Paris died in the brawl. And a lot of us know the rest. Romeo enters, sees she is dead, kisses her, and drinks the poison. Goodbye, Juliet! Dunk. And Juliet awoke just after he died. Oh my God, please tell me I just got punked or something, please! Friar Lawrence entered her chamber and told her he had come for her. He was confused by the blood and the bodies and left for a minute. Then Juliet took Romeo's dagger and shoved it into her chest. They found her, Romeo, and Paris dead, and upon this news the family feud finally ended. So what's the point? I like the theme. People do not realize they are killing love until it is dead. My first quotation was when Tybalt challenged Romeo and Romeo refused to fight. Romeo just wanted to keep the peace with his unbeknownst to him cousin. The second is when Romeo is describing how his banishment is worse than death. He needs Juliet as long as he is still breathing. The third is when Romeo impulsively drinks the poison. He hates her death and kills himself, and ironically kills their relationship. And the last is when finally the two families come together and stop the fighting, thus ending the chain of hate-killing love. So now I, as well as Shakespeare once did, may say the end and good night.